BA.2. Subvariant of Omicron. Source: WHO, Gavi, New Scientist. By visualgk.com. .5 times more infectious. Omicron is an umbrella term for several closely related lineages of the SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus, the most common of which is the BA.1 lineage or subvariant. Now many countries in Asia and Europe are reporting an increase in cases driven by BA.2. BA.2 appears to be taking over in certain countries, including Denmark. While BA.2 appears to be more transmissible than previous variants, there is no data yet to suggest that it is any more severe. According to preliminary calculations by Denmark's Statens Serum Institute, the new subvariant could be 1.5 times more infectious than its predecessor, although they've detected no difference in the risk of hospitalisation. What's a variant? Viruses, and particularly RNA viruses, such as SARS-CoV-2, make lots of mistakes when they reproduce. They cannot correct these mistakes, so they have a relatively high rate of errors, or mutations, and are constantly evolving. When the genetic code of a virus changes as a result of these mutations, it is referred to as a variant. Omicron lineage. A lineage, or subvariant, is a genetically closely related group of virus variants, derived from a common ancestor. The Omicron variant comprises 3 sublineages, BA.1.529 or BA.1, BA.2 and BA.3. While the WHO has not given BA.2 a separate classification, the United Kingdom has labeled BA.2, a variant under investigation. So not yet a variant of interest or concern, based on WHO definitions, but one that is being watched closely. What is BA.2? BA.2 is basically a close cousin of Omicron. The first BA.2 sample was collected in South Africa, in November 2021. The term Omicron is used to describe a whole family of variants that appeared suddenly in November 2021. Most Omicron cases have been caused by one of these variants, known to scientists as BA.1. Although BA.2 has 32 of the same mutations as BA.1, it also has 28 that are different. Why are we hearing about it now? BA.2 has been detected in 57 countries now. In several countries, including the UK, Germany, India, and Denmark, the proportion of cases caused by BA.2 is increasing rapidly. In other words, BA.2 is replacing BA.1, which suggests that it is even more transmissible. Should I be worried about BA.2? If you are unvaccinated and haven't been infected by Omicron, then yes. If you get infected, even if you don't become severely ill, you could start a chain of infections that does result in deaths. Can I get infected with BA.2 if I have had Omicron already? We don't yet know, but many researchers think that if people have recently been infected by BA.1, they are unlikely to get BA.2, especially if they have also been vaccinated. That isn't to say this won't happen, but the numbers are expected to be low. Antibodies elicited by BA.1 will still probably react reasonably well against BA.2, certainly much better than Delta antibodies, says experts. If I have been vaccinated, but haven't had Omicron, the existing vaccines are actually even better at protecting against BA.2 than BA.1. According to the UK Health Security Agency, 3 vaccine doses are 70% effective at preventing symptomatic infections by BA.2, 2 weeks after the booster, and 63% effective against BA.1. Will BA.2 cause yet another wave of cases around the world? Hopefully not. though it might prolong the current Omicron waves in many countries. In South Africa, whose Omicron wave is pretty much over already, there is no sign of a resurgence, despite a high proportion of cases now being BA.2. However, nations that have largely succeeded in preventing the spread of COVID-19 so far, such as Japan and China, might find it even harder to suppress BA.2 than BA.1. Does all this mean that BA.2 is less dangerous than BA.1? Probably. The threat a virus poses depends on its inherent severity, how many people it infects, and how much immune protection people have. As far as we know, BA.2 is no more likely to cause severe illness than BA.1. Yet it may be 50% more transmissible. Transmissible viruses can cause more hospitalizations and deaths by infecting more people, even if they are no more severe. But in many countries, a large proportion of people now have good immunity due to boosters and infections, which should greatly reduce both the number and severity of BA.2 infections. Please like, share and subscribe. visualgk.com